elections to order. Please join me in standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning. Thanks everyone for being here. We'll begin with the roll call and state your name. Please also indicate if you have any conflict of interest related to the items that we'll consider this morning.
Holly Powell, no conflict.
Martin Carpenter, no conflict.
Bob Howell, no conflict.
Antoinette Kelly, no conflict.
Susan T. Adams, no conflict.
Thank you very much. Next item, consideration of the 2024 primary election results for our canvassing. I will turn it over to Ms. Dixon and the staff as appropriate.
Okay, so we're just gonna go down each item that's on your agenda. So as we know, the first thing that the board tackled was the absentee by mail, and we did the abstracts together. So we all know that the absentee by mail balanced. There were no issues with the absentee by mail, so we're all good with the absentee by mail. Okay, so everything was fine with that. With the early voting, and we'll explain that one. With the early voting, comparing the tapes, the Agriculture Center tape, which was the 3974, that one balanced, and then we had the West Southern Pines Culture Center tape. The tape showed 275, but when we did our history, we were off by 1, and the reason was with the new 747 bill, we had a same-day registrant where they did it same day, their information went out for verification, and it kicked back. We notified the voter whether or not to bring us information back in to verify the address. Carrie reached out to her, basically almost pleaded with the voter to just help us to verify the address due to the post office, and she didn't send anything in to verify, to correct the address, and because of that, we have to deduct her ballot from the totals from the center, and then that would make the balance of early voting correct.
Mhm.
And so that will balance out our early voting totals. Does the board have any questions concerning that?
So her ballot was retrieved
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
Yes, I have it.
and her vote
Yes.
was
Yes, well, I
subtracted.
haven't done that yet, so
That's what we'll do.
Yeah,
When we
so
approve that,
I will go back, once we go through everything, I'll go back and manually edit and then print a new report for you to look at.
And we'll do a bipartisan team of the board members, so a bipartisan team of the board will deduct and the board will watch. And then, like Amy said, we'll take it out to balance the totals, and then that early voting site will balance according to the table. Any other questions or concerns?
What will that number be again?
So then it would match what the tape for,
with the tapes.
what the tape was, and I don't know what tape was.
2765.
No, it'll be one less than the two.
Yeah,
Go through the box.
it will
Right.
go through the box,
Okay.
yeah, so it'll be less, yeah, sorry. But I have the total somewhere, but I'm not like deep in paper right now. So, so then, yes, the balance would be the 2764, and then everything will balance once we take that voter totals off.
Thank you for your explanation. Do y'all recommend that we take these separate categories one by one in order to vote for approval, or go through all of the categories that you have listed?
It's up to the board.
Any preferences, any objections to having a presentation on all of these items and then have one motion and vote? So if there are no objections, so proceed.
Okay. the supplemental absentee by mail, that was what we did last night. Checking from the tapes. And what we did, that one also balanced. I would like to have the board review everything that I did transpose from the sheet to the tape when we have an opportunity just to verify that what I wrote down is correct. And that opportunity does present itself. And then once you do have an opportunity to verify what I notated on the supplemental, if you could please sign the last page. And then that will verify that everything is correct from the data that we did last night, that nothing changed, or I didn't transpose something incorrectly. So you get an opportunity to do that as well. Okay. And that can be done once she's in there doing the manual edit, because that does take a minute to do so. Okay. The next one was the provisional count, and we all know that the provisional count did come out correctly, and that was the 75. If you look at the sheet that I did hand you out on the very last page, the total, you should see a total balance of the 75 provisionals that the board did approve last night. So that is in your total records that will be posted to Vote History. And that was the total that we did receive last night. So we know that the provisional vote count is also correct as well. Okay. And now Election Day. Amy's gonna go through the Election Day discussion and explain why we need to do some annual edits with, I explained the first one, but she'll go and explain the rest with Election Day.
All right, so for Election Day, we need to make 3 manual edits because in 3 different precincts, we had provisional ballots go through the box. So 2 of the ballots were approved last night and run through the box here. So they need to be subtracted from Election Day totals. The 3rd provisional was not approved. So I still need to minus that totals from Election Day. Okay, so it was, the first one was East Aberdeen. He was an unreported move. His was approved, so we'll remove from Election Day, and it was counted on the machine last night. The second one was West Knollwood. He was an incorrect precinct, so his was counted last night, so we will remove from Election Day. The third one was Pine Dean, and she was a no record of registration. So she was not approved, so we will just minus from Election Day. So those are the 3. The last one, South Southern Pines. So how do I say this? Their ballots are all correct. I have one more ATV in the computer. Somebody forgot to cancel a vote on the computer, meaning they pulled somebody up incorrectly, did not cancel that, and they do not remember the name. However, the ballots that went through the machine met. So if I explain this, we keep track of the ballots issued, right? They were issued, I think it was 2,120 to start with. They voted 626 on the box. We have counted all the unvoted ballots and the spoiled. And so what they started with is what they finished with. Okay, so it's really just a name in the system. No ballot went through the box or got out of the precinct. They just cannot remember the name. And the canceled ATV is not where it should be. So,
It's gonna look like someone had vote
Vote.
history, but they really didn't vote.
they didn't vote. But they didn't really vote. I know,
They didn't show up later and try to.
exactly. Exactly. The ballots issued is the same as the ballots that came back. So they weren't issued a ballot, basically. So the incorrect name was, I shouldn't say wasn't pulled up, it was printed. Their ATV was printed by mistake and it wasn't the right person, which can happen, it does happen. And what they failed to do is go back pull that voter back up and cancel it in the computer. So it doesn't show up when I transfer the data. So like I said, that voter never received a ballot, didn't leave with the ballot or
Didn't go
anything.
through
That
the-
voter wasn't even in the voting enclosure. They just can't remember the name.
So
So,
that's the only where we're gonna be off, is just that one right there.
But otherwise,
everything-
numbers match,
Oh,
everything's
yes,
accounted for.
yes.
We have an explanation for.
Yes, we have an explanation for that one. So that is the only one besides the 3 manual edits that we will correct. So, other than that, election day went very smooth.
Mhm.
Any questions from the board?
Sounds clear. Clear explanation of a complicated matter.
Because we dug and dug and searched and searched.
Oh.
It was gonna go dumpster diving, but.
There's a limit.
Yes, and I talked to almost everybody in the precinct, every poll worker. Chief judge, 2 judges, registration. They know they needed to cancel vote, they just can't remember that voter's name.
Okay, so I have a question. So if they did that, it would have generated the ATV.
Yes. Where's the ATV?
And were they one off when they tried to balance at the end of the night? Because they would have had one extra.
They
would
were
have
one-
an
they were
ATV
one
more
Yes, so
than
they
the
had,
balance on the tabulator.
mhm.
And they didn't
What-
balance.
No, they weren't off. Sorry.
What did they do with that ATV?
Well, that's a good question. So what probably happened is it got thrown out. Even though the poll workers are instructed that they are given a trash folder, everything is supposed to come back so that in this particular case, if something were like this to happen, I can go through the trash, I can go through all of that, and 99.9% of the time I find it and it's canceled. This time it's nowhere. We have looked in their tubs, we've looked in their trash folder, we have looked everywhere. So most likely it was thrown away at the precinct. Now, there's no identifying information, no signature or anything on there. But because I can't find it and it wasn't, the proper procedure wasn't followed. So in the system, there's one more ATV than what went through the machine.
That's why we said we were gonna do refresher classes.
Yes.
This is one of the topics. Great.
A lot of times I feel, and probably Holly and Tony can probably agree with me, some newer workers are afraid to admit maybe a mistake. So so it gets thrown out, even though, we tell them that, mistakes are okay. They're supposed to notify their chief judge if they accidentally vote the wrong person. In this case, it wasn't. So like I said, the proper procedure wasn't followed. And again, we have one more person in the computer than ballots went through the machine.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? All right, so in that case, I will entertain a motion to approve the report from Anne Marie on all of these matters related to final totals for canvassing.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that's unanimous.
Yeah, I don't have a piece of paper though. Oh, I did for the ones for election day, but I didn't do one for the early voting. So,
I need 2 board members, if we're gonna, we don't wanna call anything from off the person's ballot to sit, with Amber Lee on the side without the camera. If I can, and we'll do that over here. It doesn't matter who. Everybody looking at
Have to get you and I.
By acclamation.
Yeah, by acclamation, she went out.
So what we
To do what?
So
To
we
do
whatever they want us
bipartisan
to do.
witnesses for Anne Marie's.
So they're gonna be making sure that we're looking at the ballot and then moving from the ballot.
The physical ballots.
Or off that ballot and making sure it's the correct.
Right in here?
Right,
Where you
yes.
want it? Yeah.
She's gonna get the tally sheet.
And I'm supposed to start
Yes,
reviewing this.
yes.
And what is it that I am exactly?
Do we need signs? I need to have a pen.
yeah.
Well, I got it.
This is. What happened was when we uploaded a supplemental result, it merged the results we already had, we had to look at that.
So,
I just need to know, my eyes are hurting from looking at it.
So,
So you're just making sure that I transpose the numbers correct, and it starts from here down, just making sure that I put the correct numbers for each three, and then pass it down, and then they can sign as well.
yes.
Okay, so let's see, we're up here. Okay, we have to call it. Minus one there.
Oh, you're looking for those races? Yeah, that was.
yeah,
They didn't put them in those.
Can I use the tape for the Southern Pines? Can I use the totals? Because I can't see any.
Everything is merged, yeah, that's why they don't get that. That's all.
okay, Twana, if I were looking for this one, where would I be looking? Because I'm not seeing the 7 anywhere. Thank you. I'll be okay.
It was hard,
Yeah.
because instead of putting them all together, on this sheet, they're
Yeah,
all
why
put
don't you
together
go
like
ahead and
this.
sign that?
Because she's putting more in.
One, can you explain why curbside is a separate category from in-person
Alright, so this is.
as opposed to just sort of a subset of in-person items?
She was a no record of registration.
Even in our system, they
They
have
got counted,
it
they got
listed.
the provisional
And
box.
so even when we're looking at,
Taking it away
we just have to
from
put
election.
elections over.
Because
Everything all at once.
Calculated
Each category.
Yes, and it should have.
So.
Yes, so basically the same thing as you just did there.
If you want to see how many people are using the card.
Mhm.
That's where it comes
Right,
from.
Yeah.
because that's a way to capture it if you have a separate category.
The strip mine has representatives for Arizona.
Minus one.
And sometimes you'd be surprised how many groups want reports depending on what, especially ADA.
-1,
Right, oh, sure.
-1,
Commissioner of Agriculture, Colby Hammonds,
-1,
Commissioner of Insurance, Andrew Marcus,
-1,
Secretary of State,
Jason, you better take Andy.
-1,
Vice Superintendent of Public Instruction, Michelle Moore,
-1,
North Carolina Territory of California,
-1,
Field Club Seat 15, Panama,
-1,
Board of Education District 1, Esther Green,
-1,
District 2, Robert Eden,
-1,
4, Heather Davis,
-1,
District 5, Salah.
-1. Can you sign this too?
I did.
Yes.
And at least her
Right.
explanation that she went through. So,
All right, so this is the same deal, it is a provisional, it went through the box on election day. He wasn't unreported news, so we accepted his ballot last night and it went through the provisional sheet, so again, we are. I am minusing it from election day, as you can see. Okay, since his went through the machine, so it's been counted. Oh, that's Board of Education, I'm sorry, they got that up later, because my print was.
Okay. -1.
House Representatives District 9, Measure Wilson,
-1,
Lieutenant Governor Lieutenant Governor D.A.
-1,
Auditor Dave Doyle,
-1,
Commissioner of Agriculture Steve Trust,
-1,
Commissioner of Insurance C. Robert Rowley,
-1,
Commissioner of Legal Travis Wilson,
-1,
Secretary of State Josie Thomas,
-1,
Public Instruction Catherine Tripp,
-1,
Treasurer Brad Brown,
-1,
Judge Seat 15 Kristen,
-1,
Commissioner of District 4 Scott Adams,
-1,
Board of Education District 1 Andy Hall,
-1,
District 2 Robert Luther,
-1,
District 4 Haley Thorne,
-1,
District 5 John Zilli,
-1.
This one I'm using a tape because I didn't get it.
The signature is on the front page again.
Yes. Alright, so this is the same day register. That voted at, really voting on the 7 times. It was mail verification did not get signed. Okay, so, I couldn't get it to print out of the computer, so I'm using the tape, okay? So I just didn't get to the Board of Education because we have to flip all that.
Okay.
So it's the same deal?
Yeah,
You're looking
so,
at
I will subtract 1 from the total number of.
Okay.
So it goes to 1219. Okay.
Okay, so we'll start up here.
President no reference,
-1,
Governor Josh Stein,
-1,
Lieutenant Governor Richard Hunt,
-1,
Attorney General Jeff Jackson,
-1,
Commissioner of Insurance Natasha Marcus,
-1,
the superintendent of public instruction, Newton,
Minus one,
treasurer Leslie Harris.
minus one,
Associate Justice seats at Allison Woods.
minus one,
And then starts the Board of Education. Correct? So that goes to. let's see,
and here.
Yes,
The one
yes.
starts, there you go.
Okay, so we will leave off.
District two, Emily Davis. District four, A. Collins. And District four, W.
I'm gonna see if I can print this.
So we design.
Yes, you can. Sorry.
All right.
I will go do this and come back. Yes.
This one.
This one.
So just need to wait for a sign, please.
Starts here. Oh, because there's no, so you have to. Okay. About the time we get off here, something's
I'm over there, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so I took Susan's paperwork. Get that out, Susan. It was. You can tell him.
And I signed the last page.
Yes.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes, John, should be.
Yeah, should be done.
In the middle. Okay.
Didn't you already see that?
I don't have those.
Okay.
Are you still on the?
Yeah, no, the one no, that's what they say over and under. So that's not on there, so, okay.
Right, so we'll just leave it.
Okay. Commerce insurance, done. That's
Must
it,
be
next
those
one, yeah. Superintendent,
Yes, yes.
that's fine.
Mhm. Associations. Mhm.
Change of parties.
Mhm.
All of those are sponsors. Come. U.S. House Reps.
Mhm.
Hudson,
Mhm.
10, 3. Montgomery County, 5, 3, 4, 7. Lieutenant Governor's Room, 0, 1, 0, 1, 6. Insurance. Workers' no, sorry. 7. Labor Commerce, 5, 6, 3, 2. Six. Emergency 6 and 7. The contractor is 7, 6. 10. Davis, 10. 6.
Mhm.
Kelly Davis, 2, 6. 2.
Mhm.
And that's it. So now we're signing.
Very much.
Verify that they were correct. And sign the
Sorry for confusion.
This right here. Might be easier to make it jump back and forth a lot. But you can do that too.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read it each time.
One minute.
So we got, President, Dan, Joseph, 14, no preference, 2. Governor, Governor Dan is 5
So that process where you have
Morgan,
the
11
option for
for Stein.
and
Well,
Arthur.
the problem is when we upload all the numbers.
0, 0, 0, 0. Everything else is 0.
So I was just like,
I understand that process of having a separate vote. I mean, she needs to have one, so you can print out.
The next one I've got is
I don't know, they don't.
Lieutenant Governor. This is all good. Looks like this is a dim tape
The
first.
people who designed that didn't have to do your job.
Lieutenant Governor
Now, they made
is
sure that when they
14
did
for
that, we
Hunt,
had to go to the highway.
2 for
I was
Clark,
after a while,
0
I was
elsewhere.
They have,
transitioning.
they've been talking to the eyeglass.
Attorney
of the
General
opposition
Democrat.
party.
Is DeBerry, 5, Jackson, 10, undervotes 1, zeros in the other 2 spots.
You say other 2,
Other votes, it's at the bottom.
10 times.
No, now this is Attorney General.
Right.
DeBerry at 5,
Right.
Jeff Jackson 10, and then there's a category for undervotes of 1 for a total of 16.
Oh, there's no undervotes on it.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about it.
Okay,
Is it something like between-
yes, 0 for Dunn
You
and
need to read me all of them. You need
Okay.
zeros, okay. Next.
the next one is insurance.
I got my.
Marcus 15, Wheeler 0. Next one is Democrat Superintendent of Construction,
I have to have some.
Demus 5, Green 5,
Wait a minute, Eddings,
Headings, okay, yes, I did look at it wrong. Headings 5, Green 5, Crumble 5. Read anybody else's name?
Treasurer,
Oh, okay, I didn't know if you read the next.
yeah.
Okay, treasurer is as far as 8, Harris 7,
Guess I'll wait till after this, all of this.
associate justice is 6, Riggs 10, Cubbage 5. Now libertarian
What about you?
is all zeros.
Guess we have to
David,
vote for
Train traveler,
because of that.
Okay, governor libertarian, all zeros.
And is that Ross and Bray?
Yes, I'm sorry, Ross, Bray.
Just want to make sure I'm marking the right ones.
Public announcement.
Presidential preference Republican,
There weren't any more.
no.
All right,
DeSantis 0,
okay.
Haley 7, Hutchison 0, Ramaswamy 0, Trump 8,
Very confident.
Hinckley 0, Christie 0, no preference 0. House District 9, Hudson 10, Terrazon 3, Governor Republican, Falwell 3, Graham 4, Robinson 7. Lieutenant Governor Republican, Doaklick 0, Elmore 1, Navoa 1, Mashburn 0, O'Neill 1, Page 1, Reeves 1, Weatherman 6, Woodall 1, Ballard 1, Boykin 1. Auditor, Deeney 4, Key 3, Street 1, Tarte 0, Oviatt 3, Clark 2. Agriculture, Hammonds 4, Troxler 8. Insurance, Marcus 1, Morley 1, Ozzy 7. Labor, Farley 6, Artister 3, Stanley 2, Wilson 1. Secretary of State, Thomas 6, Lombardi 2, Brown 2. Superintendent of Public Instruction Republican, Monroe 6, Truitt 7.
And they do it. And they do
Republican Treasurer, Dowd 1, Johnson 7, Langer 6. Appeals Court Judge, Freeman 10, Murphy 3. County Commissioner, Steve Adams 7, Tom Adams 5. Board of Education District 1, Gall 19, Lewis 0, Marine 1, Wiki 7. And District 2, Davis 10, Johnson 11, Levy 6. Education 4, Davis 2, Hensley 6, Bowen 4, Collins 15. Education 5, Moles 5, Salaki 3, Calcutta 20.
Yes. But I like what you picked me up. To go, and so she picked me up at 7. And I said, Julie, that's really nice of you, but why at 7? It doesn't start till 7:30. She went, oh. You first. People wouldn't be hot. Exactly.
Plus, the first couple of them come out, so it's
I know, right? I want to be first.
going to be separate for everyone.
I want to be in your room. Just want to make sure about this.
That's right.
Okay. Resign.
so much, Ben.
Okay.
With that manual edit.
I saw that we're already doing for the
Yeah.
Can you do it for others to simplify the process?
Seems to indicate
And that's just what I learned when I read it. I'm thinking,
that it's gonna confuse.
yeah, I guess it would depend if they're close to
They
beginning.
have to be adjacent.
But you're fairly close and it's a discussion I had in our next meeting.
This is
Oh,
the
yeah,
one, 12.
yeah, the 12:30, yes. I would like to minimize even some of the election day precincts if we could do it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep, I agree with you. You and I are on the same page.
Well,
What's
you
what's going on
raised,
here?
you raised it earlier. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
going to.
So it looks like Mr. Preston ballots coming up. And it looks like we have to send absentee ballots to everybody that requested us to do it. Unsolicited.
Does it say?
Yeah, automatically send it to them. If they requested an absentee ballot, the initial primary, then we, in this case, any Republican would now get an automatic absentee ballot.
It's what they think.
That kind of simplifies it to a
Yes.
certain.
What did you read?
Where you at?
You know, it says, yes.
No change to precincts and boundaries, it's just they're gonna have a new location. Yeah, since these are both state level races, it really doesn't matter, because the boundaries of the state at this point in time. It really would apply if it was a municipal. You might be voting in a different location that was out of your municipality, but you would be voting for the people in your municipality.
You know, I hadn't thought about that.
I'm gonna, in line with the phenomenon of not recessing, moving back,
We don't have to.
ending.
That's because we don't mandate the still,
Just the place.
unless the staff is gonna mandate the eggs. I probably still never do the, schedules. We will look for that.
Have a quarter on yourself.
I should have marked this on already.
I'm looking forward, I was going to be balls.
It says for some reason, the county board.
Yes.
Instead of saying, I leave.
Actually, a question, not busy.
Okay.
Changing the story.
Yeah, where Bruce, please.
Okay.
The soul
This
is
talk about ballot that was thrown out,
just
Just
wonderful
it's
singing.
beautiful
Well, someone
and
had
just
two votes.
sing it.
One
Yes.
in Carnes and one in Carthage. How did that happen?
Is it a real vote or was it a,
What was the question?
the ballot that was thrown out? Was that Aberdeen?
There wasn't any ballot from,
There wasn't.
No, it wasn't, it just
do
wasn't.
you mean the ATV?
The ATV, that wasn't.
Even if it was an ATV, if there was nothing.
It wasn't an early vote. It wasn't early vote. It was on election night.
Oh, it's okay, okay.
Okay.
Some of these ones, if you want education for lunch, we just go back to wherever they did. Say third grade. Use a teacher to have it. Just the same, instead of all this.
Just trying to draw.
Chris, that's in the county board, all these county boards must appoint precinct officials for each early voting site. They'll be used in the second primary.
In the last couple of years. The military is-
It
It
usually
includes in lieu
says,
of,
president,
I heard, but then that would mean
For someone to
that
say
the staff would have to man.
we want
no, it
some
just means they
straight
have
up the way it was written.
like they
I guess we're gonna find out.
Yes.
That's for
Makes
us.
just hope that you are correct.
It does
I
say,
believe it. I understand that.
the county board will only conduct early voting at its sites and again, decided to move. And it does not reduce some state officials. The board would nonetheless designate two workers to serve as judges and rules to.
At the county board office, that, since this is in lieu of, we're gonna pick clarification.
Adjourn this one.
He's rehearsing how to open the second meeting.
I think so, yeah.
I'm studying up. Is it just? With all this down, just realized that. Oh, it's-
So then runs.
It's gonna be this. You're here and here, and I'll have to have all the people here.
Well, that's part of what we gotta discuss here. If we think it's gonna be slow, can we handle it here? By bringing in a couple of people, because it looks like they bring in a couple of people here to assist. That's part of our conversation. Have you seen this?
Made sure we're good.
You can probably get a copy from it.
They handed it out at the last meeting.
Yeah, they're for us, but I
I
don't,
know that.
I imagine Tawana can give you a copy. It's public notice, it's a state board memo. You can find it online, you can probably find it online. Now, this is interesting because it's all, second primary.
And it always is.
And this is kind of general, that's why a couple of things would apply to us at this point in time.
Whatever this is, so it's the chairman shows the calendar time. Fresh bone college was one that's just, and that's where.
I just have to be.
Did you?
I didn't ever use an indicator on their absentee application for the first primary that they would like to request about the second primary shall automatically, so they can indicate on their request.
The request given an option, hey, if there's a second primary,
There
I
must
didn't,
have been.
I didn't even see that, okay.
I didn't look at the absentee
Yeah, I
ballot
didn't,
request. So they had to indicate. So.
that would mean automatically that you can still request something, you know. It's kind of looking ahead, saying, hey, if you have a second primary, do you want it?
Because it could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still coughing. I'm like, really?
No, I think we had a discussion already, so.
I got my name on the desk. I didn't even bring it in.
And it's,
But I did read.
my thing is about what is it? Something like that needs to be just for the secondary. If you don't need to do that, just make sure you have, say, A and B, they're separate, and you don't mix them. That's going to cause major problems in some areas.
Can you do some
And then just.
No, yeah. So no single registration, how many people can register, or somebody that turns 18.
Just have to be on their toes to make sure that they don't, because they have a divider or something that will divide that. So, because that's what this is. Sure, I'm taking, only everything, you take it and you have signed it and done.
Oh, no, I'm not saying no again. I did that yesterday.
Where'd that go?
I'm
going nowhere.
Have no idea where to go.
I need,
That is no.
I need to lose weight, I need as much as I do.
Response. I had to think of the words that I got from Karen when I called her. I said, are you sure we don't want to add?
Yeah, that's gonna be tricky, because theoretically, they could set up in here, for early voting,
She says, hmm.
appoint 2 people to be the judge or whatever, to handle things, and then one of the staff members, I guess, can check people in. If the minutes was having to appoint a bunch of people to shoot, well, it's actually one shift, this time it's 8 to 5, that's just one shift.
I was looking in our corner, so in that corner there.
How much?
It's only a report.
Yeah.
Wow, sounds like not a lot of, okay, just a thought.
We still know.
Yes.
Yes, we are still live.
I didn't get you on the first meeting.
Because
We're still waiting for her to bring
we're waiting
the
for the
printout.
final counts.
So
Student supervisor, what it is.
It's not on those riveting. I think we might have lost whatever monitors we had.
People could use this to help them sleep.
you have any Carter Street here? But I know.
It is.
It's very close to the floor children and then taking the crisis and doing things when I was in. So I had a wonderful relationship and one is a minister. Colin was with Collins. All the moms for Easter. But anytime they're home and I get to see them, it's just
That transfer is just because.
Yeah.
I guess not. No. Oh, yeah. Church council.
To introduce a moment of levity, I told my husband to text me while I was gone, off and on, to let me know he was okay. So his first text was, "There's dead Vikings laying all over the floor." And I said,
Is that an autocorrect?
"Are you watching TV?" Because he's been watching the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
And that he responded some nonsensical thing, and I went, "Are you in the living room?" And that's why I went and called him. I said, "Are you hallucinating or are you joking?" "Oh, I thought you would think it was funny."
He does keep you on your toes, does he not?
He was on the floor in the laundry room when I got home yesterday.
Oh, that's not good.
He was trying to feed the dog and he slipped. He didn't hurt himself. Yeah. And he managed to get up with my help. But I told him he was coming with me today. He said, I said, "If anything happens today, next time, someone's either staying with you or you're coming with me." So he said, "You have to text me every so often and let me know you're okay." So I don't know what the next one will
And
say.
now we're all gonna be worried about those Vikings.
I know. So did you put the car keys in the safe or something?
Oh, the car keys are locked up. And you don't know where they're at.
Have you thought about selling that second car?
I'm not there yet. The keys somewhere where I can't. I don't know what I'll do if I get home, and there's a bunch of little things on.
I know, right? I don't care as long as they say.
Exactly. That's why when somebody called me and said, well, you don't really need to pay for taxes. And it's only legal, and all I have to do is pay the taxes on it. He said, no, man, I can't do that. I said, well, so I don't have to register, I can't see. I said, why would I do that?
I got a letter from a solicitor saying that they wanted to buy my property and the price was absolutely minuscule. And I thought, and they were out of Tampa, Florida or something, you know. But the offer was good for 30 days.
Awesome. And since I hit 60, I've been getting all those cards in the mail about people. This age are considered old.
Leave me alone.
I'm sorry, that's different. They ain't sure what's happening. So this is the report, you can pass it down. This is the sheet. We had to take off the edits, what the number was and what we could take.
You don't have to re-verify it.
No, I'm just letting you look at it. I mean,
I'm looking at everything, there should be one less on the right-hand side, which it appears is being done right now. It is.
and if you want to take that, right?
I'm just checking the number here, there need to be one less. Okay, here and here, this 4, 0, and the new total.
Oh, this is.
These aren't changed.
Yeah, but the 0 here represents what, the starting?
Yes, well, it was zero, but we didn't touch it.
Okay,
This is what.
Oh my, oh my, because they look to me like, what do you do? It would, I'm exaggerating, but it's almost like everybody would call out, and like, who is this person? And I thought, and I have never been. I was just so,
That's actually.
so I guess it's
it's the location.
maybe a college.
And they know. They know.
Yes. She doesn't take it.
So I think that has to do with the site. Those small ones.
Oh, group one. Oh, I'm
Group,
sorry.
those are group.
So this is our group
Oh, this is early.
Oh, it's
So
early.
typically it's group, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And then group one could be election.
So you could
Group
move
one
it.
or election day. Group
You
two
can.
for this, group three for
And
that.
that's ordered ahead of time, and then figure out that. But that would.
So in each case, this column should be one less.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
and that's what I was looking at on that.
First.
So that, I'm sorry, that's for
One
our
less.
purposes.
And one less, okay.
Okay.
They do the round thing.
Or the Toco box.
Okay.
Yes, what are we doing?
So, this is the report.
Share us.
This is the report of the differences that we had to do in one of the group as, the total. So this is, I think, saying these two. These two straight. And then we did it because they have to tax, these two, and then there was a question. The group just means for us, we legal on this is either group one or elections and group two. Where we take the absentee, that's just how we pick where we first to get the vote. So that's just every week.
Okay.
But here, you would see the difference when this is what the number one, this is what it looks like. Okay. Yes, I hear you. But the total was new from the race that we
The changes.
and that's the change.
Precincts are
Now,
close to
it
each
took
other.
so long because we never
It says
said
that.
early on.
Yeah.
Everybody shows that, so we kind of
Hmm.
try to find out.
And then we-
And I'm glad you're doing it.
The entertainment was magnificent.
You would get calls that
Yeah.
more people were signing up to watch them.
I know you got the one checking station.
So she's gonna, do an upload.
Mhm.
Once she does that upload, we can have the final canvas report, what the manual is.
Right.
Report as well. We do that, you sign it.
Okay.
The question is, what's the right? The commissioners have to know.
So this is, okay.
Do the Republicans have to know? That's a good question.
So she told me I need to keep it. I'm gonna keep everything about this, whole thing about this ditch.
I'm sure.
This is what's taxes. Passing out candies.
Careful. Marty?
Okay, thank you.
How have you been practicing how to have the shortest meeting on earth?
Well, we were there until these guys started talking about consolidating precincts and transfers, minimize the number of precincts that we need in this country.
Oh, my. And lunch is on deck, right?
That by default,
Okay.
as soon as they extend the meeting time by 2 minutes,
Okay.
that's general statute number.
Yes.
This song's on. Two honest question about where she's going to go out today. I mean, it's your decision to leave.
Yes, everybody's no more not good.
Thank you. Evidently, I need to do better there on that. Give it 2 minutes before the next meeting starts.
Okay, good.
All right.
So what we're gonna do, this is our proof that the manual edits were taken from the ballots that Holly and Mark looked at.
Right.
And so we're gonna transfer these to go with the state and have you sign this as our official record. So we have these signed. Yeah, go ahead. If you could please do that for me. The last page that you reviewed the manual edit. That last page right here.
To sign it.
Yes, ma'am. One will go to the state board.
So we're signing all three, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they doing secondary?
So we send one to the state board, one to the clerk court, and we keep one on file here. And so they get this report right here, which is broken down. Like precinct report. It's 94 pages. And then they get a more condensed version, which was a whole lot easier. They get, get one. And this is a sheet that goes, this is a sheet that basically finalizes the result. But I wanted you to get a block style of the results so you can see the total numbers before you sign it. And then you can look at that. Hey, can you tell Amy to print me a Canvas block style report? Just one for the board to see. Thank you. Bye. And that will just give you the official total. Right there.
Mhm.
I'll let you count. And then if you're okay with that, once you see it, and I would need you to sign read me. And that you're good with how the election came out with the total amendment and then we'll do things.
Okay.
Because she's gonna just print that back. You said,
Didn't hear what you said.
so what I was saying was, Amy's gonna print you out a block style report so you can just see the full total numbers now. After we've done all the manual edits and the changes. And if you're happy with how everything came out and you're, good with the election, to finalize it, you'll sign up those 3 forms and then we'll finish with this election. And so, what you're looking at. I'm sorry, it's always funny.
That kind of something to compare it to, it's meaningless. But
Well, you'll know what, yes, how about that?
tell us what we should be looking at.
We're gonna know that there's gonna be a change in.
Hold on one minute.
So when you get the changes, you should need to set.
So basically, I moved to 5,267 units. So that should show up someplace.
That one, this one's different.
No, you haven't done that yet. These are the lines we're going to, and then these are the pieces.
So, this is Joe Biden. We have a total for him, a grand total. I'm looking for his numbers. These are only the ones we changed. So we're trying to look at all the total, including the changes.
So give me, oh, she took it. Oh. Do you have a,
What we're looking for, just something to compare these totals to another set of totals.
After that,
Yeah, after you did that, just like we've seen what the presidential race was. And if we have another set, so we can compare just the two and make sure, yeah. I'm not gonna go back individually, but
Just looking at it, there's
it doesn't,
no.
if you gave me a table, we could compare. That's what I was looking for, just a table.
Grand total.
yeah, that would, yes, that would then work, that way.
But it would be the precinct grand total table, it wouldn't be everything.
Where's the everything?
Well,
Is this the only one that has the everything on it?
Well, now that we've made the changes, so if she did one before we made the changes, then yeah, that's probably what she's looking for now. Before she made the changes.
We want the one after the changes.
You want one before the changes, right?
Well, this
Well,
is
gonna be
after,
after, right?
this is after changes right here, correct? This is what's going forward. This is after
As
the minus
final
ones.
result.
Okay, so whereas another document like this, I guess, that has the total for everybody, including the individual minus ones that we included. So there is nothing else with totals with this to compare to. Okay. You just have to, otherwise, like Holly says, I look at this, it's like, okay, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
A lot of numbers.
I mean, we can sign it, but
Yeah, it doesn't tell me, what am I comparing it to? I mean, the numbers are there, it could be completely different than the tapes. It isn't, but I'm just trying to figure out how to be able to validate, that's
Okay.
all.
Took me a minute to kind of think. Okay,
We're just trying to validate all numbers.
so basically I ran this, election night at 9:28. So you'll see, like, so where it made the manual edit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, so then it goes per race.
So here we go, 5,267, 5,000, this is
That's
what
what
we're,
we-
this is what we're trying to do,
Okay.
that's all we're trying to
And you can see
do.
this one because I ran this one
We
election
don't,
night.
we don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want to do this one, you want that one.
Yeah.
Okay, there
And
you
we can do,
This one's a little
we can
easier.
spot check. I just wanted to make sure we're looking at the same things right there.
go. So you don't need
And don't
Block
to
style.
talk about.
don't confuse us.
Let's see,
Which other one? do you
Democrat,
want?
Lieutenant Governor, so 372, 3372 for, that's another sample. One more meeting, and then that's all I'm interested in. These were the Dems, then you have the Republican one.
That's right there.
Okay, and let's see up here. Trump 11. This is Democrat, okay. Libertarian. Here we go. 11, 430, 11, 430 version. I'm good. I just want to do a sample.
That's fine, I see what you mean. Well, that's it, the one for somebody in there next time. Okay.
I'm sorry.
The other round. Right.
No, I get what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so much easier to say.
Mhm.
So we just want to see the change from to and the total. He just picked Randy and make sure that everything is consistent.
That's too small.
These are
Show us
candidates'
together
names,
this
so they're
time.
on- I know. All right. All right, Lieutenant Governor, Democrat.
Okay, all right.
Nothing to, zero, zero. Right.
Area.
For President,
That's what we get.
beginning.
Because we still have to, we still have to.
Keep it on 840.
But then we get
Okay.
You okay with that?
They spotted and y'all spotted.
And that was the time was
So you're good.
Yes, ma'am.
This is what?
The front page.
Yeah, it kind of gives the total. So,
Found it.
Signing this more leaky than we did the tape.
Yeah, y'all sign the letter, you know, you want to sign a check like this, my name. So if the board is, once, the board has, signed, and I just need a motion from the board concerning the result of this final election.
So we don't sign any of this.
Some of it is just for you to review to make sure that you were okay with everything that you've done with all of this practice. Yeah, that.
I move we accept the results of the 2024 Moore County primary as tabulated.
Second.
Any discussion of this motion? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are unanimous. Thanks, everybody. Well done. A lot of detail.
Now I move for adjournment of this meeting.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Now, it is 12:46. Already roll into our.
Yes.
No?
Might as well go through it.
All right. Call this meeting of the Moore County Board of Elections to order. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will begin with a roll call. When you state your name, please indicate if you have any conflict of interest relevant to the matters that we'll take up this afternoon.
Holly Powell, no conflict.
Martin Carpenter, no conflict.
Bob Howell, no conflict.
Antoinette Kelly, no conflict.
Susan T. Adams, no conflict.
All right, thank you. On our agenda, we are considering, I guess, first of all, there's a public comment section. Would anyone from the public wish to address the board? Sorry, I don't know, it's on here. We'll move on to the consideration of our second primary, One Stop, AKA early voting plan. And we have seen this previously, I believe, but Ms. Dixon, I'll let you introduce it.
So with it being a second primary, and most second primaries are very slow, it would be the suggestion of myself to just hold early voting at the Ag building during business hours. I'm sorry, everything was just like rushing through. Business hours 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and the last required Saturday, if all possible. That is my proposal to the board.
What time on that one, Saturday?
8 to 3.
Now,
Do we have any questions for clarification?
we have to appoint the poll workers for this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is in lieu of site,
Yes, sir.
and we still have to do poll workers.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So we will give those to the party chairs for, we're not, it will be from the list that we used before, probably minimized, not as many, but many. So we will have enough to make sure that we're covered. Let them look at the list. I'll give y'all like a week break from me, and then call you back in because we have, our time frame is very short. And then it will come before the board, and the board will do just like they did before, how we'll group them, all the judges, the assistant judges and assistants, and we'll go from there.
so we'll have to vote on early voting and then vote on the second primary election day, poll workers as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can we do that at the same meeting, or will that be a separate meeting?
The absentee, the one-stop plan is actually due Monday at
Yeah.
5 o'clock. I have to allow the chairs enough time to review the list, and we're gonna get that out to them Monday or Tuesday. And then we have to give them so much time to review it and then get the board back in for you to review what we submitted for you to make the appointments.
Okay,
So I have a question regarding the memo. It says if the county board will only conduct early voting at its office, it does not need to appoint early voting officials. The in lieu of site is not counted the same.
No, ma'am, it's not. If we did it in this back room, yes.
Okay,
But
so our question is there any way to do it here? Or do you definitely recommend against that?
I recommend against it. Because even though we know it will be slow, I never want to take the chance that it might not be slow and then we're overwhelmed here. And then we're having board meetings, we're trying to get equipment done, and it's just too much confusion
What about, I mean,
in the training. Well, we're still gonna do
are you
a nice little
doing
training.
elections?
So we're still gonna do election day training. And so that's why we wanted to still have it across the street.
Do you think you'll need as many poll workers? I don't believe you
Oh,
will.
no, sir.
Okay,
We are trying to, like I said, we are minimizing because we are at the end of a fiscal year. And it's a second primary. A lot of times it is slow. We did tell our chief judges, how many they should pick their top 4 plus their 2 assistants. If they need more, to let us know so we can kind of balance everything out as we're going along. So they are aware of that as well.
there would only be one shift this time, I would believe, with a 9-hour day. Are you gonna have 2 shifts again, 4.5 hours?
There are some folks that are okay with working an all-day shift. Some of my regulars, I guess, my veterans, there's a couple that still need a shift only because they, pick up kids at school or drop off.
Okay,
So I plan to actually do both. If they would prefer to do an all-day shift,
Okay.
that's gonna be fine with me, but if they need to do and it breaks down to like a 4.5 hour shift.
okay.
So I plan on offering both.
So you'll have your pool of workers as you had before, and we'll deal with them
So it'll
individually. So
Yeah, it'll probably be like 30 instead of, I believe the list that you guys appointed was about 100 between the 2 sites, so this one will be narrowed down significantly. So about 30 or so workers. If that.
All right. Let's see, is there no more questions for clarification? Is there a motion to approve this early voting?
I move we accept the early voting plan as proposed by the staff for this second primary.
I second it.
Any further discussion? Thank you. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Passed unanimously. Thank you. The next item is the consideration of temporary transfer plan from Pinehurst C to Pinehurst A1. Stacy.
Before we talk, or kind
Well, let's
of
start.
in conjunction with addressing that, I'd like to talk about the temporary transfer of voters to adjacent precincts. Says county boards may reduce the number of precinct voting locations for the second primary. If we adopt a resolution to combine precincts that are adjacent and share a boundary line, we can reduce our precincts from, now 25 locations to less locations. I'd like to get Tawana spot about the possibility of doing that.
Okay, reduce more?
Reduce more.
Combine more.
Okay, when you say that, who are we trying to reduce to?
We're reducing the number of locations open on election day by combining precincts.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, it's not as easy as it sounds. If I can kind of show you on the GIS mapping, because we were looking at Westmore area as well. So only reason why I was combining the Fairborn.
No, what, because of Fair Farms.
Yeah, the only reason why I was combining that one is because the Fairborn is really good with us with working with our dates. They move a lot of their events around us. This go round, for some odd reason, and I was looking into it, that second primary date hit the second week in May instead of the first Tuesday. And so it kind of threw everybody off, and she scheduled something on that day. So there's something there scheduled. And so I didn't want to conflict with that. Because like I said, normally they're very good with working with us. They schedule nothing around those 3 days. When we drop off equipment, we vote and pick up. So the option we had was to go to the town hall, which is big enough where I can split it and put 2 precincts in there. When I looked at like the northern part, I had Westmore, I had Robbins, and then I had DHR. Is that how? Okay, DHR. What I wanted to do was to take Westmore and have Robbins and DHR to go there, but I can't do that because Robbins is in the middle. So everybody that's adjacent would have to go to Robbins. And so, and Robbins is a fire department and it's too small. So looking at most of my precincts, I have big precincts next to small precincts that I can't fit into each other. And so that's why it's really hard to try to decide who to put where. If I was to look at the high school, I don't even know who's next to the high school. It would be the Douglas Center. South Southern Pines is adjacent to the Douglas Center. So you wouldn't want that, those 2 combinations of precincts kind of wouldn't work because of the parking of the Douglas Center. So those are the things that I have to look at, and I can't, because somebody was like, well, can't you take the Fair Barn and move them to the community center? Well, no, I can't because it's not a precinct. So these are all of the things that I have to look at. And so I can look at other locations, but like I said, some places, the way that some of these lines are drawn with the precinct, they kind of, the places that I would love to put together, I got something right in the middle of it, like Taylortown, and I can't do it because Taylortown is the adjacent precinct, and the state wants maps. Like I have to show them what is adjacent before they'll even approve it. And I was like, yeah. So I did look to see how many more I could combine, but it's kind of difficult.
I believe our thought was just, since it said we could combine, making it easier for you and the staff, that if you said, man, I wish we could go down to 20 by combining these, we would probably be amenable to that. What I'm hearing is that it really, this is the only one you can really do right now. So,
well, if they were just to let me combine and not be adjacent, oh, that'd be perfect. But it has to be adjacent.
Right.
Somewhere along that precinct line, they have to touch, and a lot of them don't touch. Or there's, like I said, there's a small one in between 2 big ones, and so it's hard to, like I said, Taylortown is in the middle of 3 big ones, and I'm just like, I would love to.
And you think the location is too small to handle even the minimal turnout we're expecting?
Well, like I said, I never want to shortchange myself. So, like Taylortown, I could move into what's A2? What?
That's the church.
The church. I could move Taylortown into A2, like that, because that's adjacent. I could do them into that one. That's how you would kind of work that one. Or, but then I know Taylortown, that wouldn't work. So I already know that one wouldn't work. Then you have.
it was just a thought.
Right, just
Well, no,
theoretically, it's,
Overall view that just leave well enough alone.
To a point, yes.
Well,
So-
Marty had raised it.
I know, and I was looking.
A couple of times, like, do we really have to open 26 precincts?
And there's a lot of counties that are doing the same thing. I have a friend of mine in the county, because their school systems are doing testing during that time. And so she is combining almost 8 precincts
Wow.
into other adjacent precincts, and she's like buckling it down because of the school system with the testing during that time. So there are a lot of precincts, but also doing that as well, we have to send out notifications too. And so I have one county, she's having to send out 2,700 notifications to those people as well. So that's another thing.
And I know it just ends up confusing.
Yeah, so I don't want to, so that was like that's nobody reads their mail, but that's a 2.1 mile difference, 5 minutes up the road, just to accommodate the Fair Barn for being, really good to us and,
Right.
just for that one point in time.
And on that one, they're going to be at the same location, but you're gonna have 2 separate areas?
Yes,
So it's still like 2 precincts in just
Yes.
one place?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not combining?
No, so it's gonna be 2 separate check-ins,
Yeah.
2 separate machinery.
But you do have to send a notice to the ones?
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
They're
Matter of
just
fact,
voting in a different
I'm
location.
gonna be out that way to set that one up myself, so.
I have a flash tape between the two of them. So
Well, we had already thought, we're gonna petition that room straight down the middle and have one going through this door and one going through that door. So everything will be separate, because you can combine even the data, but we don't wanna do that, it would be
Are
separate.
you sure you don't wanna do that and have one?
Well, we're only gonna have one check-in and one help desk. So we'll need, 6, maybe 7 workers. But then what happens is for the precinct sort, it kind of messes up my,
Right.
yes.
For election day, it's just easier to keep it separate.
Okay.
Just in our lack of knowledge to the depth that you have it, theoretically, it seemed like, if we could wave a magic wand and consolidate this.
Nice.
But now, knowing
Nice.
hearing the details of what all is involved, so that makes sense to offer. All right. So is there anything else to say? I think we've already talked a little bit about this particular one of Pinehurst Cedar Pine.
Do we need a motion for this?
Is there anything else to say? Okay.
I do need a motion.
So we'll have, we do, so we'll have a motion for that.
I make
This
a
transfer.
motion that we approve a temporary transfer of PHC to PHA A1.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of this transfer, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that's unanimous. Well done. Any other items from the director or the staff?
No, sir, so I'm gonna give y'all a break for a little bit, about 1 week maybe. Then I'll call y'all back in.
I might send you an email anyway.
Looks like absentee ballot counting starts on April 9th.
Yes, sir. So I will have your resolution and your, the temporary transfer resolution. And once we get the, information back from the party chairs for the poll workers, we'll take care of all of that at that.
You can do all that.
Yes, sir.
All right. In that case, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned for the second time of the day. Thank you, public, for joining us.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Come on. Did you come on the dates? Times. The highlight that you put on that calendar?
Yes, because normally, you usually do your absentee meetings at 2:00, but I just wanted to make sure that was something that was still good for you to do at that time, if you have absentee meetings. Okay.
It's fine with me.
Because nobody emailed me back.
You do?
Did I ask?
Okay,
Okay, I don't know what I was asking at that moment.
Oh, Lynn,
That was, the Fair Barn is not available at that time. For certain.
One of these is the Fairmont?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what does it mean?
Just want to say,
That's gonna
hi, coming, that's why you